Blanchard just posted this to her TikTok stories, a message she sent to the mobile billboard company. Apparently, she sent a text message to the company Louisiana Mobile Billboard. She wrote, "My name is Gypsy Rose Blanchard. This weekend, your company held a bullying hate campaign against me and included a photo of me with my child when she was born. This campaign was meant to harass and cause embarrassment, emotional distress, and shame. I find it very disturbing that your company does not have standards for the campaigns that are being promoted. I was a victim of long-term child who, yes, committed a crime to escape this. I paid my dues to society and my parole ended. I was in New Orleans celebrating with friends this accomplishment. There are many people who support me in the community as well as around the world. I have my fair share of haters, and as an anti-bullying advocate, am highly disturbed by your company's actions to move forward with this campaign. This type of harassment is detrimental to someone's emotional and mental well-being. I would kindly ask that going forward, your company would ensure that future campaigns are not harmful to individuals. Thank you. Hashtag stand up to bullying." Billboard was obtained through multiple content creators fundraising on TikTok, and then they live streamed the event. While this was going on, Gypsy Rose Blanchard and some of her friends began flooding the company with fake reviews, sending them messages, basically doing everything that they can to try to stop the campaign from happening. However, as we know, that didn't happen.
And this is coming from Becca Scoops. I was listening to a recorded live panel on Reddit just now. She has some inside information apparently, and the small business Louisiana Mobile Billboards has decided to officially hire legal teams. They are collecting all their evidence, such as emails, harassment. They've even had to hide their truck. They've had contracts pulled because of the whole situation and cancel on them, damage to property, all that. So with that being said, they are hiring legal services. Now, does this mean that it's going to be going towards Gypsy? I don't know. I have no idea who it's going to be directed towards. Maybe Gypsy, maybe her crew, maybe whoever was filmed. Maybe they'll pull footage from the businesses. I don't know. They will also be covering it on local news stations here in Louisiana. So when that time comes, I will definitely keep you posted and show you the news footage.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's newfound freedom was supposed to be a fresh start, but it's turning into a full-blown controversy instead. Just days after her release from prison, a Louisiana billboard meant to announce her return has sparked a firestorm of backlash. The woman behind the ad campaign, a hardworking single mother who simply took on a client's request, now claims she's facing relentless harassment. And if the allegations are true, Gypsy might be at the center of it all. What started as a routine business transaction quickly spiraled into chaos. The owner of the mobile advertising company says she's been bombarded with threatening calls, vicious messages, and even financial fallout, all because her billboard put Gypsy back in the public eye. But here's where things take a darker turn. Reports suggest Gypsy may have escalated the situation by sharing private messages between them online, including the woman's unredacted phone number. The screenshots allegedly led to a flood of disturbing threats, leaving the business owner terrified for her safety. To make matters worse, her company has suffered major losses. Clients have pulled out, revenue has plummeted, and what was once a steady livelihood is now in jeopardy, all because of a job she accepted without knowing the full story. Now, she's fighting back. No longer confining her frustration to social media, she's gone straight to the press and is reportedly seeking legal counsel. If these claims hold up, Gypsy could be facing more than just public scrutiny. She might be looking at a lawsuit. Stay tuned and watch this video till the end, because this story is far from over. And before continuing, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more updates, and ring that notification bell, because when it comes to Gypsy Rose Blanchard, you never know what's coming next.
In front of it, made sure that, Bree on a, bare minimum had to say Gypsy didn't give an F at least 150 times, just in case we didn't hear it the first 149. And then, you hear, then Gypsy goes full Karen mode, and she's like, "I'm gonna call them tomorrow." Like, yeah, you totally don't care, Gypsy. So much so that you're gonna call them tomorrow. And what, tamper with free speech? Good luck doing that. It's called the First. In fact, I actually pulled up the First Amendment for Ken, or whoever wrote in Ken's profile, because he tried getting it taken down, and he actually put up I'm not sure who did this, but there was actually a false statement that was swirling around saying that it was that the Louisiana billboards had withdrawn from the campaign, Louisiana billboards on their official, actual official, not through Gypsy or Ken saying so or bringing up whatever they brought up, but they issued their own statements right on their own socials saying, no, we did not withdraw from this. It's like we do not endorse or or for or against anything that we put up on our boards. We are our centerpiece is to continue the advocacy and the reminder of our fundamental rights of free speech. We're a free speech platform. It doesn't, if someone takes offense to something, that doesn't mean free speech should be canceled. It's just like, I'm glad that they stuck to that rather than just being like, okay, well, like they go through some self-preservation or they're going to, change their platform because some sort of pressure. It's like, no, free speech should be protected in every form, whether it's something you like or dislike or something you agree with or disagree with. They were just pressed, or panini pressed as, Gypsy puts it.
The situation has escalated to the point where this business owner is now considering pressing charges if the harassment doesn't stop soon. She's been advised to document everything from the flood of text messages to the phone numbers and timestamps as potential evidence if this ends up in court, whether it's a civil case or a criminal one. And from what's being said, she's been meticulous about it, keeping a thorough record of every interaction and threat. While Gypsy seems to be doing whatever she can to silence people and keep the spotlight off her, this attempt to shut things down may have completely backfired. If her goal was to keep the story from spreading, she might have just done the exact opposite. Now that the woman behind the billboard is allegedly being harassed and threatened, she's taking the matter to the media. And once those details go public, it's going to paint a much clearer picture for the public. People are going to find out exactly how the billboard came to be, what it said, why it was put up, and more importantly, how Gypsy responded to it.
Ken got caught in a lie and everyone laughed at him publicly. Now, as you know, a group of creators rented out a billboard, putting Gypsy Rose on blast, ruining her day yesterday, causing her to leave the French Quarter and go play some Topgolf. Now, Gypsy Rose was staying in a hotel in the French Quarter this weekend, living it up as she's now off parole, with no regard for her daughter, by the way. Now, Ken came on my video about the billboard, saying that they aren't even in the French Quarter. Well, not too long after this, we saw Gypsy's live reaction to the billboard. Take a look.
Fuck you guys, because I had a great time in New Orleans. Anyway.
Now, in addition to this, Ken Urker forged a false statement from the billboard company claiming that the ad was taken down. Well, this prompted the billboard company to issue a real response through their social media, as seen here. And through this statement, it appears to be clear that the billboard company will not back down or be intimidated by the threats of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Now, if Ken wasn't chapped enough by all these contradictions, here's one more. He said the billboard truck wouldn't be able to go through the French Quarter because the streets are closed. Well, take a look.
I'm done.
This is awesome.
This is the best thing ever. I don't even care what this lady does next. This is amazing.
That was the billboard crossing through Bourbon Street in the heart of the French Quarter. So Ken Urker, before you run over to my page again, making comments, check yourself, buddy. Because if your facts aren't fact, we will call you out. Let me know what you think about this in the comments and make sure to drop a follow for more.
And let's be honest, once folks hear that a small business owner who had no personal connection to Gypsy whatsoever is now being targeted and living in fear over a job she was hired to do, it's going to raise serious questions. One of them being, why is Gypsy even walking free right now? This isn't just a PR blunder, it's a full-on disaster. Gypsy picked the wrong person to come after. This woman runs a mobile advertising company. She literally has the tools to plaster the truth across entire cities. And after everything she's allegedly endured, she might just do that without charging a single dime. She's already taken a hit financially thanks to all this chaos, and now she's had to start a GoFundMe just to stay afloat. Losing major clients in a matter of days is no small thing, especially when you're a single mom trying to keep a business alive. She's made it clear. She was simply doing her job when she ran the campaign. She didn't know the full history behind Gypsy's name, and now she's dealing with a storm of backlash she never saw coming. The fundraiser explains that clearly. This isn't about clout or drama. It's about recovering from real, measurable damage done to her livelihood.
This is insane. This is actually insane. So let me get this straight. You begged for like 10, 20K to get a lawyer because you said that Gypsy and the Blanchards were so dangerous that your life was in danger. Are we sure that's not Ken's sister? Because I swear to you, they look so much alike. I've always thought that. Cousin something, somewhere in there. Look at their facial features. Irregardless, I'm sitting here reminiscing on all of the like brutal lives that Bree did about Ivory and the fighting back and forth, all the false information, all the reaching. And I've come to understand this is so much more evil than I thought it was. So many lies, so many twists, so much deception, so much evil and corruption. Like, it's sick. The lengths that they go to cover things up. And from a Christian standpoint of things, ooh, baby. You know, saying God don't like ugly, y'all's fall is gonna be intense.
And let's not forget, this is the same Gypsy Rose who sat in front of a camera just a few weeks ago preaching about how harmful bullying is. That's why so many creators had such strong reactions to that video. Many already knew that Gypsy and her circle have been accused of being some of the worst offenders when it comes to harassment and manipulation online. Now, with this new situation unfolding in real time, more people are finally starting to see it for themselves. At the end of the day, this woman isn't a YouTuber or a blogger. She's not clout chasing or trying to make a name off of Gypsy. She's just a hardworking entrepreneur who took a job, and now she's paying the price for it.
Because no matter how many signs get put in front of your face of, hey, you need to change. Hey, this ain't right. Stop. Y'all just don't give a dang. And I don't know what your karma's gonna look like, but for all the seeds that y'all have sown, you will reap a harvest. And people have tried to warn you. Ivory, I think about all the times I stuck up for you when you were hurting because of these people. I have never understood fake people. I have never understood trying to hide my identity, lying, or doing evil things, making up things or playing some sick game with all these people. I don't do it. I even try to shy away from when creator is against creator. But this whole thing has turned into like a cesspool of just like mess ick. It just gives me the ick. For the most part, all you can do is sit back and laugh.
This business owner never expected her professional work to land her in the middle of a firestorm. She wasn't making a political stand or expressing her own opinions. She was simply fulfilling a client's request, the way any dedicated professional would. But now, thanks to the explosive backlash, she's found herself tangled in Gypsy Rose Blanchard's chaotic orbit. And the real question is, how does Gypsy plan to justify this latest controversy? The woman behind the billboard didn't seek out conflict. She didn't provoke, insult, or target Gypsy in any way. She just did her job. Yet, she's now facing a relentless wave of harassment, threats, and severe damage to her business. There was no ill intent behind her actions, which makes Gypsy's alleged retaliation not just unfair, but alarming. What's becoming painfully clear is that Gypsy hasn't evolved since her release. Instead of learning from her past, she's falling back into the same destructive behaviors that led to her imprisonment. Gypsy seems trapped in a cycle, one she won't escape until she faces the truth about herself and takes real responsibility for her actions. That's the only path to genuine change. But given her current trajectory, true self-reflection doesn't appear to be a priority. Now, before we go any further, let's take a quick detour to something lighter. While Gypsy's busy making headlines for all the wrong reasons, I was enjoying the vibrant energy of New Orleans. Just a little reminder that life goes on, even when drama takes center stage.
Girl, Gypsy Rose tried to sue. Gypsy Blanchard said no lawyer would touch it. Even said they reached out to a few lawyers and no one would touch it. She thought maybe when Gypsy's documentary came out, that would change their mind. It didn't. Let's be real. Poster child of her microdeletion and Gypsy. Come on now. It wasn't a case. And not only that, had they have actually went into a whole lawsuit, things that would have come out, especially in her deposition. The same reason they didn't take Gypsy Rose's case to trial. Had they have taken it to trial, all Gypsy Rose's dirty little secrets would have came out. So would her microdeletion. Would have been found out that, oh shit, she was diagnosed with this in 2011. She did have symptoms. So some of them were gassed up, like Gypsy telling the doctor she had no feeling below her pelvic area. But when they did their sensation test, she responded to their light touch. Same thing with the hearing test. And the doctors accused Gypsy of malingering. When you look up the studies on children who have fictitious disorder imposed on themselves, the kids are making themselves sick. The doctor said these cases were nearly invisible. We know Gypsy told Nick that she had a seizure that caused her to be temporarily paralyzed. She didn't tell Dee Dee when she got the feeling back.
Dee Dee told me that Gypsy had problems with her salivary glands. One of her seizures made her paralyzed from mid-thigh.
Gypsy is the one who told doctors that the Botox no longer was working and she was drooling and choking again. Told them it worked well for a minute. Now she was having trouble again. Just like she told Dee Dee she couldn't feel her legs. Dee Dee told Christy that. I swear I'm starting to believe that Gypsy was the one gassing some of these symptoms up. Maybe they couldn't get that lawsuit pushed through because Gypsy was the one malingering, not Dee Dee. Maybe she had a little factitious disorder going on. I don't know.
Back to the mess at hand. I once predicted Gypsy might end up back in prison within a year. But at this rate, it could happen in half that time. If she's slapped with charges tied to intimidation or threats, her criminal history won't help her case. A judge won't be as lenient this time around. The legal system could come down hard, and she might finally face consequences she can't talk her way out of. So, what will it take for Gypsy to stop targeting this woman? Because the business owner isn't backing down. She's determined to keep her company running and keep sharing her side of the story. If Gypsy keeps pushing, she's only digging herself deeper into legal trouble. And this time, there may be no easy escape. The fallout has been brutal. The business owner has lost major clients, endured a flood of fake negative reviews, and faced a vicious online smear campaign, all for simply doing her job.
Gypsy Rose tried to silence the Billboard company and failed. So if you don't know about the Billboard, a few creators got together and hired a mobile billboard to drive around the French Quarter. It had pictures of Gypsy. They were making a statement. They were highlighting the true narrative of the case. Gypsy Rose messaged the Billboard company and tried to guilt trip them. GRB told her, the owner of the company, a single mother, that it was just trolls and schmullies, and she was out celebrating the completion of her parole, which was an achievement. Let me just say, being from that field, it is an achievement. I agree with that part. Is it a flex? No, but we all know why it was a successful completion. There were several parole violations that GRB got away with. But I digress. The Billboard company did not back down. This woman stood her ground, telling Gypsy Rose she believes in freedom of media and freedom of speech, and she fulfilled the contract. Meanwhile, it hasn't just been GRB contacting the company. It's been Ken and their friends. This woman is being harassed. Ken has been commenting on creators' posts, and for somebody that was so unbothered, screaming and yelling at the driver of the billboard, flipping the billboard off, causing a complete scene with her friend, yet saying she's unbothered. This is bigger than GRB's feelings. It's about accountability, and it's not stopping.
But here's what's impressive. She's not letting it break her. She's speaking out, refusing to be bullied into silence. If Gypsy thought she could intimidate her into removing the billboard, that plan backfired spectacularly. This is her business, her livelihood, and Gypsy doesn't get to control it just because she doesn't like being reminded that she's not the victim here. As this situation continues to unfold, one thing is certain. Gypsy's choices are leading her down a dangerous path. She's already made too many mistakes, and this one could cost her far more than just bad publicity. Thanks for sticking with me through all the twists and turns of this wild story. If you found this breakdown as eye-opening as I did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest updates. And while you're here, check out some of the other videos on the channel. There's always more drama to unpack. Until next time, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.